a very warm welcome. I am Gusheen Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next 2 minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. Today we begin with big updates in the United States. President Donald Trump has finally announced a series of new tariffs. April 2 was dubbed as Liberation Day for America, where Trump introduced a universal base tariff of 10% on all imports. The imports were dubbed as baseline tariffs by the Commander-in-Chief, and they take effect on April 5th. Trump has also announced custom tariffs for roughly 60 countries. These are the nations that the president believes are the worst offenders. An additional 34% tariff was also imposed on Chinese imports. This adds to an existing 20% duty, bringing the total to 54%. The European Union, Vietnam, Japan and Taiwan were among the worst hit, and April 9th is when these country-specific taxes take effect. After the announcement of Trump's sweeping duties, fears of trade war have escalated. Economies worldwide reacted to the US tariffs, and amongst them, China firmly opposed them and promised countermeasures. EU chief said Brussels is ready to respond, and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also condemned it. India too wasn't spared of this tariff salvo by the Commander-in-Chief. Trump imposed 26% duties on Indian imports to America. He said he is being kind for not only charging roughly half of what India charges. India's Commerce Ministry called the decision a mixed bag and not a setback. Danish Prime Minister Frederiksen arrived in Greenland. She is on a 3-day visit to the Arctic territory. Frederiksen will aim to build trust with Greenlandic officials. Her trip comes amid a diplomatic row between Greenland and the US. Trump has repeatedly expressed interest in annexing the island. Thousands of people are protesting gang violence in Haiti. Angry residents took to the streets of Port-au-Prince yesterday. They clashed with the police and demanded government action. Until now, Haiti has not elected a president, and rampant crime, including violence by armed gangs, has displaced thousands. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in Hungary's capital, Budapest. He is on a 4-day visit to the country. This is the Israeli leader's first trip to Europe since an arrest warrant has been issued by the ICC back in November 2024. And because Hungary is a member of the International Criminal Court, it is technically obligated to arrest Netanyahu if he enters the country. However, Prime Minister Viktor Orban has pledged not to do so. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Thailand. He will attend the regional BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok. It is a gathering involving the 7 nations on the Bay of Bengal. Prime Minister Modi will meet his Thai counterpart, Pietong Tan Shinawatra. There are speculations Prime Minister Modi might meet Bangladesh's leader Mohammad Yunus. Malaysia has temporarily stopped the MH370 search mission. The MH370 plane disappeared in 2014. It was carrying 239 people and was en route to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur. The incident set off one of the biggest mysteries in the aviation world, but the aircraft still hasn't been found. The death toll from Myanmar's recent earthquake continues to rise. The total number of people who have lost their lives in the tragedy is now over 3,000, and the rescue operations are still underway. The powerful earthquake hit Myanmar last Friday. It was one of the strongest in a century that the nation has witnessed. In climate news, Australia has just experienced its hottest 12-month period ever. This is according to the Bureau of Meteorology. March 2025 saw temperatures soar 2.41 degrees Celsius above average, surpassing the previous record of 2.3 degrees Celsius set in 2019. The 12-month period ending in March 2025 averaged 1.61 degrees Celsius above long-term norm, making it hottest such span in recorded history. Brazil has appointed auto industry executive Dan Iochpe as its climate champion for COP30. It is the 2025 UN Climate Summit. His role will be to engage business in climate action. Iochpe, who previously represented Brazil at the G20, chairs auto parts maker Iochpe Maxen and serves on the board of major Brazilian firms. A new report reveals that global coal capacity growth in 2024 was the lowest in 2 decades. However, China and India continue expanding their coal infrastructure, offsetting plant closures elsewhere. Wealthy nations like Japan and South Korea were criticized for promoting questionable decarbonization technologies. Elon Musk's SpaceX and the US Air Force plan to test rocket cargo landings on Johnston Atoll. It is a Pacific wildlife refuge. Conservationists warn the project could endanger seabird populations, recalling past incidents where SpaceX launches destroyed bird nests in Texas. Deutsche Bank's asset management arm DWS has been fined over $27 million for misleading investors about its sustainability claims. German prosecutors found that DWS falsely promoted itself as a leader in environmental, social and governance investing. The firm accepted the fine, admitting past marketing exaggerations. On to business and tech news now. Global stocks saw a sell-off in the wake of Trump's Liberation Day tariffs. US futures, Asian and European markets all saw a sharp decline. Investors shifted to safe haven assets like gold due to uncertainty. Experts warn the tariffs could lead to a recession globally in the future. Tech stocks significantly plummeted on Thursday after Trump's tariffs. Apple, Amazon and Nvidia were among the ones hit. The iPhone maker saw its shares slide by 7%. Some $760 billion were wiped off from market value of major tech companies. Gold prices surged to a record high on April 3. This happened shortly after Trump unveiled his series of tariffs on countries. Spot gold reached an all-time high of $3,167 per ounce. Trump's reciprocal tariffs do not apply to commodities like gold. Electric vehicle giant Tesla reported its biggest ever sales drop. Its first quarter sales declined 13%. Tesla delivered 50,000 cars lesser compared to the same period last year. Tesla has faced stiff competition from Chinese rivals. Tesla share prices rose 5% after reports said Musk might leave Doge. The White House called the report garbage, and Musk took to X to say it was fake news. The report has claimed Trump was happy with Musk's leadership in Doge, but the US president felt that Musk should return to his business. Trump's tariff impacted major sportswear brands as well. Nike, Adidas and Puma experienced significant declines. Nike fell 6.5%, Adidas dropped 9%. Meanwhile, Puma sank 8.5%. The US imposed high tariffs on Vietnam. Nike and Adidas rely heavily on the country for shoe production. Hyundai's co-CEO said they won't raise US prices for now. The company is still evaluating the impact of Trump's 25% auto tariffs. Hyundai has warned dealers earlier about possible price hikes. The company's shares fell 1.5% after the news. Mitsubishi has announced new investment plans. The Japanese conglomerate will spend about $27 billion. The investment will span over the next 3 years. $20 billion will go towards growth projects. Mitsubishi is aiming for a record profit of $8 billion by 2028. Japan's Nintendo has announced its Switch 2 model will be announced on June 5th. The console will be priced at about $500. Buyers can pre-order starting April 9th. The device features enhanced display, improved performance, and more storage. Amazon has submitted a last-minute bid to buy TikTok. The US government wants TikTok Chinese owner to sell or face a ban. The deadline for this is April 5th. Other bidders include tech firm Win. Another group, being led by the founder of OnlyFans, has also expressed interest. Moving to sports, we begin with cricket. Gujarat beat Bangalore by 8 wickets in the ongoing Indian Premier League. After winning the toss, Gujarat took to field and restricted Bangalore at 169 runs, with Mohammad Siraj claiming 3 wickets by giving away just 19 runs. In response, Gujarat managed to chase down the total with 13 balls remaining, as Jos Buttler smashed 73 runs off just 39 balls. Bangalore head coach Andy Flower said, "Star batter Virat Kohli is not injured." Flower said, and I quote, "Virat looks fine and he is okay." End quote. The clarification came after Kohli was reported to have suffered a finger injury during Bangalore's 8-wicket loss to Gujarat. Indian Cricket Board (BCCI) announced India's schedule for 2025 home season. India will first host the West Indies for a 2-match test series in October. South Africa will visit India in November to play a 2-match test series, 3-match ODI and a 5-match T20 series as well. In football, Liverpool beat Everton 1-0 in the Premier League. Diogo Jota scored the own goal for the game. The Portuguese striker ended his 10-goal drought to move his side 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. Aston Villa beat Brighton 3-0 in the Premier League. After a goalless first half, Marcus Rashford struck the opening goal in the 51st minute of the game. Marcus Asensio followed through later in the game to extend Aston Villa's lead to 2-0. Donny Elmelen hit the back of the net after the end of the regular time to seal the game. Newcastle beat Brentford 2-1 in the Premier League. Newcastle's Alexander Isak struck the opening goal at the cusp of first half. Brian Mbeumo struck an equaliser in the 66th minute. Sandro Tonali hit the back of the net later in the second half to seal the game for Newcastle. And Manchester City beat Leicester City 2-0 in the Premier League. Jack Grealish struck the opening goal right at the start. Omar Marmoush followed through later in the first half. For Grealish, this was the first Premier League goal in 16 months, which he dedicated to his brother Keelan on the 25th anniversary of his passing. In tennis, Britain's Francesca Jones was forced to withdraw from the Colsanitas Cup in Bogota after collapsing on court. The 24-year-old appeared to stagger after failing to return from Argentina's Julia Herrera in the third set of the round of a 32 match. She fell to the ground and was removed from the court in a wheelchair. The British tennis star is reported to be stable after the incident. In boxing, India's pugilist Jadumanani Singh edged Britain's Ellis Trowbridge in Interboxing World Cup semi-finals in 50kg category. The Indian won the quarter-final with a 3-2 split decision. In F1, Formula Red Bull racer Sergio Perez is being approached by multiple F1 teams for a 2026 comeback. The Mexican said in an interview that he is in talks with several parties. Perez is reportedly evaluating projects that motivate him, with Cadillac reportedly topping the list of prospective teams for the Mexican star. And finally, some updates from the world of glitz, glamour and gossip. Singer Sabrina Carpenter is reportedly Disney's top choice to star as Rapunzel in the live-action adaptation of Tangled. The report suggests Carpenter is in talks, dismissing earlier rumors that Florence Pugh was in the running. The 2010 animated hit was a massive success, grossing over $592 million. HBO has officially begun production on The House of Dragon Season 3 in the UK. The 8-episode season will continue the fiery power struggles of the House of Targaryen. It is set 200 years before Game of Thrones. The show will stream in India on Jio Hotstar. Universal Pictures has announced a live-action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon 2. It is set to hit theatres on June 11, 2027. The news follows an early screening of the first live-action How to Train Your Dragon film at CinemaCon, which received positive reactions. The sequel will release a week after Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Universal Pictures revealed upcoming projects from Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan at CinemaCon. Spielberg's untitled sci-fi blockbuster set for June 2026 is said to be a return of his classic style. Meanwhile, Nolan is filming The Odyssey, of his adaptation of Homer's epic in the Mediterranean. And finally, before John Wick 5, fans will get an animated prequel featuring Keanu Reeves as the voice of the legendary hitman. The film, confirmed at CinemaCon, will explore a pivotal mission in Wick's past. He must eliminate all his rivals in one night to earn his freedom from the high table. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.